Hello, this is Rico Cavilla, and I want to welcome you to this episode of the Fearless Aging Show, where in every episode, my guests and I, we strive to offer you proven tips and strategies that you can implement immediately to greatly improve your overall health and well-being. So we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self so you can go out and make a bigger positive difference in the world. And we definitely need you to do that. So the title of today's episode is America's Wellness. Now, this is the third one that we've done about America, about the challenges that we're having in America, and I just felt compelled to do this because it's such an important message, and it is about wellness. It's about because the wellness of our country and our planet is definitely a big factor in our individual wellness as well. So in the last two episodes, if you haven't seen them, you should go back and check them out. The first one was America's Off the Rails, all the challenges that we are really having. And then in the last week's was some of the ideas and solutions that I have that we can get us back on track. But I ran over, I didn't have enough time to finish, so we'll finish that today and we'll do kind of a recap again. So, so I entitled this one, last one here is America's Wellness, how we can really get America well. Because the slogan that the Republican Party has these days, "Make America Great Again," is taking us back into the past, where America's never been great. There's no country that's been great. As long as we're having wars and killing each other, and there's poverty and racism and all those things that we'll talk about, how can you consider that to be great? So we're not great, but we can get there. But people have to wake up and realize that we all have to contribute. Everyone is important. Everyone has something to offer, and we need to do that. And I'm going to have a call to action for you, for everyone, to see how you can make a contribution, and then we can create peace and prosperity and justice and well-being for all of humanity. And that's within our power. But we have to wake up and know that we can do that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of recap the last two shows. So let me just go up here and get to my notes. So there was basically about 15 areas that I thought was most important that we need to go through. So I'll go through those real quickly and then we'll go through some of the basic solutions. Okay, so first of all, this was basically to show people if anybody thinks that America is great, that we definitely have a different opinion of what is great, because how can it be great if this is what's happened? First of all, as you well know, our forefathers came to this country and we ended up just slaughtering and conquering the Native Americans that were here and put them on reservations. Not so great. And we've been a racist country from the very beginning. We had slavery. In fact, some of our forefathers were actually slave owners. So that's not quite too great. We also have an economic system that's really based on scarcity and competition, which inherently means that only a few are really going to truly prosper and most are just going to survive. And that's what's going on today. So we have a big income inequality. It's unsustainable. We have to get control of the big corporations and that are just based on greed and wealth and how much money they can make, and not on producing products and services that are beneficial to the individual, to the consumer, and to our planet. So it's no question that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. That's unsustainable. As I'm sure you well know, our political system is totally dysfunctional. Our two-party system has outused its usefulness. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Well, I'll just go ahead and talk about it right now. It's just ridiculous. It's like if you and I went to go into business as partners, but I said, okay, this is what our agenda is going to be. Here's how we're going to operate. And you said, no, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. What would happen? We'd get nothing accomplished. And that's pretty much what's going on in our government today. So it's my opinion and others that we need to just get rid of the two-party system. All we need, we still can have the same system, the same Congress, the same House, the Senate, all this, but we need to just elect a group of the same amount based on population from all the states, same amount of senators and congressmen, and representative, and they just go there as one body. They have their different caucuses. They decide what the agenda is going to be, what they need to work on, and then they come together and vote on bills. Simple as that. There's no this partisan stuff. That's just totally ridiculous. It's totally dysfunctional, and why people have not stepped up and more. We heard more about this, but I think that's what needs to be done. We need to start over and get some things done here. Again, our educational system is also dysfunctional. It's very discriminatory. You know, why all of our schools should be getting, no matter where they're located, should be getting the same amount of economic aid. So every student, no matter where you live, in whatever area, no matter if it's a wealthy area or a poor area, should get the same amount of good quality instruction and resources that they need, so we can create uh, a good education for all of all of our kids, our students. And that would go a long way to ending poverty and to ending all this income inequality. Our justice system is totally outdated. You know, first of all, we should only people should be in jail are people who are violent, who are dangerous. Everybody else needs to be going. We need to switch from a punishment situation to a rehabilitation system. It's well known, really, that the vast majority of crimes that are committed by people who are totally feeling unloved or are wanted or don't have low self-esteem, or maybe they have some mental illness, they've been abused, and that they feel just totally just that they have no chance to do anything else because they grew up in poverty. So we need to change all that. We need to have a justice system that is changed to a rehabilitation system. That's all I'll say on that right now. Our healthcare system is also totally broken because we don't have a healthcare system. We actually have a sick care system. We try and help people in some ways when they have all this chronic illness and all these things. And we have to realize that our mainstream allopathic medical system is great. When you have an acute situation, they can save your life, put you back together again, and they're good for diagnosis. But for most chronic illnesses that people see doctors for, their treatments are not only pretty much ineffective, they're downright dangerous. You know, all these unnecessary surgeries and all these pharmaceutical drugs are just taking people's take their vitality away, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we have so much chronic illness and people are dying and getting old and sick and dying way too young. So we need to switch that. We need to realize that we need to have a true healthcare, a preventive medicine system. We need to educate people, and our first line of medical care should be naturopathic doctors and functional medicine doctors who treat people holistically and get to the root cause of their illnesses, not just try and put a band-aid on it, which mainstream medicine does. So that's all I'll say about that for now. But I mean, the only area of these things that I'm an expert in is healthcare, and so that's why I teach what I call the ageless living lifestyle. It's a complete mind, body, and spiritual wellness system that I know will give most people the very best opportunity to avoid disease and old age and live a much healthier, energetic, long life. Did you know that the science now tells us that our genetic potential is to stay healthy to 125? Our lifespan could be 125, and our health span could be almost 125 as well. But yet we know that our current life expectancy is only about 77. So that means the majority of people are missing out on 40 years of good living, and they're becoming old and sick and dying way too young. So we have to wake people up and realize that may be what's normal these days, but that's not natural. You can avoid all these diseases. You can stay healthy and energetic. So that's what I teach. So if you're interested in that and realize the importance of that, how it impacts your life, well, I have a message for you. I'll play that for you right now. This is an important message that I think will be really helpful for you. Hello, I'm Rico Cavella, creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle. If you are concerned about premature aging and you want to avoid disease and old age, and you want to live a more healthy, energetic, and vital long life, I have proven solutions for you. So number one, go to agelesslivinglifestyle.com and take our aging quiz to see how well you are doing. And number two, book your free coaching session with me to discuss your wellness challenges, and I promise to get you going on the right track. You can transform your health and your life, and I can help. Okay, we are back. So I really hope you'll take advantage of that. Take our agent assessment at agelesslivinglifestyle.com and book a call with me. It's just a friendly call. We'll get to discuss whatever health challenges you may be having, and I'll do my best to give you some proven solutions that will get you going on the right track. That's so important. We need to have a healthy America. One more thing about the health thing is you need to understand this is that if you look back in history of most all the dominant societies throughout history, one of the biggest factors of their demise was when their population became unhealthy, they became lazy and unhealthy and had all these health problems. And that's where America is right now. We need to turn that around. Okay, now one of the next things is America is the largest supplier of weapons and bombs and guns and ammunition that supply the rest of the world so they can kill each other. How great? That's not great. That's just only about making money. We need to become, we need to promote a peace academy instead of a war academy. We have to change that mentality that we don't have to have all these weapons and guns and fighting each other. We need to, but there's ways that we can uh, work our way through that, slowly. Obviously, we can't just do it automatically, but we can find ways to do that and stop supplying the world with guns and weapons and that can kill us and actually destroy the whole world's population. And this whole thing, I don't know how people can stand up and say this whole gun against gun control. That say guns don't kill people, people kill people. What is wrong with these people? Guns do kill people. It's pretty hard to kill people, especially a mass killing without a gun. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We need to have, we definitely need to have a ban on assault weapons, and we need to get rid of as much guns on the street as we possibly can. We're also one of the biggest polluters on this planet. We have to realize that our planet is our home. You wouldn't dump all kind of toxic waste inside your house, so why are we dumping it on our outer house, our planet? So many things that we have to realize. And again, here the Republican Party and Donald Trump is saying the green movement is a scam. Oh my God, he wants to take us backwards instead of forwards. We got to stop polluting our planet. That's clean air and a clean planet. It's like it's the ultimate thing that we need to survive, and we're killing ourselves. And science knows this, and yet some people are still so ignorant that all they care about is the bottom line of how much money they can make. They don't care about the health of individuals. They don't care about the health of the planet. Okay, we also have again, we have the most people on drugs. We have the most people taking drugs. We have the most homeless people. We have the most mental illness. We have the most people in jail. All these things that certainly are not great. And so these are all challenges that we have to wake up and get our head out of the sand and realize that we need to work on. We need to change. We got some major challenges to face. And to top it off, what does everybody really want in their life? To be happy. And guess what? America is not even ranked in the top 20 for happiness. They have these surveys around the world. Americans aren't even happy. They're just struggling and thinking that things are great and they're just struggling to make money but they're all stressed out. People aren't really happy. We got to wake up. Life's not supposed to be a struggle. Life's supposed to be a learning process, but also to be enjoyable. So does that sound like a great country? We're also supposed to be a religious country. Now, all the things that we're doing, does that sound like what Jesus would want us to do? To pollute our planet, to only have the few make plenty of money, all these problems that we're having, that's not what Jesus, that's not the kind of a country that Jesus wants us to promote, to produce. So anyway, I'll take a breath. Don't forget to keep drinking water as well. Actually, remember to drink water and to breathe more. Take deep breaths. I need to remember that. I'm getting all fired up here. Okay, so it's really the biggest thing is our complacency. We just kind of got used to what's going on and just accept it, just like our health. We just accept that that's what's going to happen. We're going to get old and sick and die too young. Well, you don't have to accept it. Okay. So it's so important to realize that we need to create wellness. And it really, when it comes down to, okay, I'm scrolling down here to get to my new notes for this new thing in wellness. So it's entitled America's Wellness. So wellness is not just a state of not being sick. Wellness is having a good measure of good health, both physical, mental, and spiritual. And spiritual is really the main thing that we need to really focus on. We're really far away from being a spiritual nation. Spiritual means to be a, above the material world. It has to do with being connected to our true source, to God, to spirit, to our soul. And that's where we need to create this new life that we all know that we really desire. Everyone desires to live in peace and be prosperous and joyful and enjoy this life, but we're far from that. So in order to find solutions to all these things that we've been talking about and all the problems that we have, it's not really going to come from any laws or from our government. I mean, those things can help and those things are important. But the only way we're really going to change the way we're living and how we're treating people and to solve all these problems that we just talked about, it's got to come from the individual. We have to do that with our own self. We have to take responsibility. You see, if you just say, well, that's just the way it is, not going to change, then you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. So it's all about what we believe. Everything that we believe and we think is what creates our words and our thoughts, and that's what creates our emotions, and that's what creates our reality. So in order to change what the problems that we have, Einstein said this: you can't find a solution to a problem with the same thinking that created it. That's what Einstein said. So we have to let go of our past programming, our past belief system that has created all the challenges that we have. We created them ourselves. So in order to create a new future, a new existence, a new way of living, we have to let go of the past and become into the present and into the unknown. And that's how we can create something new. A perfect example of this is Israel and Palestine. They're never going to create peace as long as they're staying in the past. They all have the same past programming of hating each other from what happened in the past. And as long as they're staying in that way of thinking, then they're living their past is creating their future. So you have to let go of your past, and this applies to everything in our life, as individuals, as countries, as a whole planet. We have to let go of the past programming if we're going to create something new in the future. And the way you really do that is through meditation. To slow down, quiet your mind, quiet all the distractions, and let go of this past programming that's running everything from our subconscious. And we can do that. We have the power to do that. We can let go of the past. We can quiet our mind, and then we can have new ideas and new ways and realize that in this very moment we can come together and create something new. But it has to let go of the past. We have to let go of the past. We have to believe that we can create peace and that it can be a prosperous and uh, joyful, productive life for everyone on this planet. We can do that. And so that's what the call to action is. We need everybody to start believing in this. Again, if you don't believe it's going to happen, You're part of the problem. When enough people realize that we are all just brothers and sisters on this planet Earth, and that we are here, I believe, with a divine purpose, and that is to learn how to live together in peace. We've been on this planet, human beings have been on this planet for 200,000 years, and look where we've gone. I heard some smart person, I don't know who I give credit to figuring this out, but if you want to see how far we've advanced as human beings on this planet, we can use a measurement of a basic uh, lifespan. So let's use a lifespan of from 0 to 80. So if you want to measure how far we've advanced as human beings on this planet, it's been said that we are only teenagers. We're still teenagers. We're not even reached adults yet. So don't you think it's time that we grew up and become adults and realize the way we've been living is not serving us very well? It's not serving our planet. It's not serving anybody. We're still fighting and killing each other when we're all brothers and sisters. How stupid is that? So we just when enough people realize that we are brothers and sisters and that we can create peace. Now, agreed, you don't have to like everybody. There's so many people that are pretty hard to like, just like what's going on in our political system today. Pretty hard to like it, but you have to realize that we have to respect them, and we have to realize that we can cooperate. We need to let go of competition, and we need to embrace collaboration and cooperation. And when we do that, it's going to make a much better life for everyone. Again, you don't have to like everybody, but as all the religious and all the spiritual teachers have said, you need to love your neighbors. We need to love them, and love them means just to respect them and to you know to be to to treat them well, and not only respect them, but to share and be kind and to be helpful for each other. And we can do that, but we just have to wake up and to realize that we can do that. So I don't know really what else I need to say. It's just to sum it up. We have a lot of big challenges in this world, and one of them is right here in America is the elections that are coming up in November, and so it's a really a clear choice. It doesn't matter who the candidate is now for the Democratic Party. What matters is the Republican Party wants to take us backwards. They want to take control. The religious right wants to put all of their agenda onto people. They want to take away women's rights. They want to take us back on the environment. They're going to take us back from being uh, connected with our allies. Just all the things that they stand for and Donald Trump stands for is taking us backwards. And it's nothing but a bunch of lies. You have to realize that. I don't know how anybody can stand up and say that that Donald Trump should be our president. He's about the least qualified person to be a president. So I encourage you to get out and vote. And it doesn't matter who the candidate is. Anything is better than what the Republicans are offering. So I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just independent. I'm just an American. I'm a human. I'm a citizen of the planet Earth, and we need to step up and start taking better care of our planet and ourselves. And we can do it. That's the good news. We can actually do this. So once again, I just call it everybody needs to take action. Everybody needs to realize that we have all these challenges, but we can solve them. But we got to let go of the past and have new visions, new ideas, new thinking, and we can do that. So I'm calling on you to actually do that. And so I hope this makes sense to you. And I'd love to get some feedback. Let me know. You can contact me uh, and let me know what you think and what ideas you have. And again, so I thank you very much for being here. And so go out and make it a better world for everyone involved. So that's it. And next time we'll be back on some form of anti growing old. Take care.